Oh, oh my f***ing God, guys, how are you? Answer now, please, I'll wait. Oh, that's great, guys. Good for you. Amazing. Well, guys, anyway, one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite TV personalities, Dr. Phil.
The good Dr. Phil McGraw.
He's been making the rounds on all this media, all this crap, because he's promoting some new thing that he's doing. I mean, this guy's going on everything. He'll go on anything. Send his ass an email and he'll be there, you know? And it's a real honor today to welcome to the show, Dr. Phil.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a real honor to be on your show, Lex.
So, Dr. Phil, what's the name of your new show?
We're calling it the Phil Spector.
The Phil Spector. So what is that, like a reference to Phil Spector?
I don't know what that is.
Huh?
Hello?
Yeah, Dr. Phil, can you hear me?
Huh?
Well, Phil, can you give me some relationship advice? You know, how do I make a marriage work?
Well, you need to stop stealing from your mom's car, doing Molly, and taking dumps outside. You have to listen to your parents. You're a minor.
No, Dr. Phil, I'm not a minor. I'm not a troubled teen. I think you're confused.
Hey, what was that, dude?
I said I think you're confused.
Oh, man, you're gonna get it.
I'm gonna get what?
Why don't you come by and see, man? Roll by the crib and see what happens.
The crib. Okay, you want to fight me now? You're an 80-year-old man, Dr. Phil.
No, you are, and you're bald.
Okay, no, I'm not.
Play the boom sound, please.
Okay.
Boom.
Now, you're gonna get one of those, you little pipsqueak.
Okay, I'm a pipsqueak.
Now, I didn't say that. You said that.
No, Phil, you just said it.
Yeah, because you're gonna cut me out of context in Adobe Premiere. Is that what you use to edit?
Yeah, Dr. Phil, I use Adobe Premiere 2024.
Oh, ooh la la, showing off. Got the new update.
Okay, I'm not showing off, Dr. Phil. Why? What do you use to edit video?
Ableton Live. You got a problem with that now, too?
Well, that's a music program, Dr. Phil.
No, it does video, too.
No, it doesn't.
Prove it.
No, I'm not going to prove it, Dr. Phil.
That's right, because you got owned and now you're running scared. Now tell your mom you love her and you're going to stop stealing her car to go to Boy's house. We have your mom here. Go ahead, tell her.
Okay, that's my mom. What am I supposed to say to her?
That you're going to stop doing fentanyl in your mom's car with the boys at school, I said. Do it before I open a can on your little ass.
Okay, Mom, I'll stop doing drugs in your car with boys.
I actually don't have a problem with it. I actually think it's hilarious and kind of cool, actually.
Oh, what do you think of that, McGraw?
Okay, that backfired. Now I look like a square-ass little nerd. Well, the next time you do that, can I hang too?
Well, now no.
Why not?
Because you threatened to kick my ass multiple times, Dr. Phil.
God, I hate you. You're so unfair. Everything's so unfair.
Okay, so that's Dr. Phil. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Phil. For him, we
Praise God.
The attack on the American family has gained so much momentum.
How much?
I don't think parents
Hey!
should be telling schools
How much? Quantify it, please.
what they should teach.
At least 25 states introduced legislation to limit how public school teachers can talk about issues of race and sexism in the classroom.
If you want to create chaos in a society, where do you start?
Power
You
grid.
start by attacking the society's children.
Right.
There has been a very
We are all being subjected to what I call the tyranny of the fringe.
Oh, I say that too.
Embodied in their attack on our rational thinking and core values.
Oh, those
But
son of a bitches.
they push too far, too long, too hard. And they've made a serious mistake.
Oh, shit.
And that mistake is they have awakened a sleeping giant.
Okay, well,
And it's
quick question, Dr. Phil. What does any of this mean? What the hell specifically are you talking about? Okay, anyway.
roaring. I'm here to hear that roar and funnel it into a voice where we all speak together with undeniable clarity and passion.
Oh, whoa! I'm trying to find my way. It's Dr. Phil all day.
I left this daytime world
that's your girl,
because
Phil?
I needed
So yeah, that's the slightly vague promo for Dr. Phil's new show, and I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of Phil. If you don't know about Dr. Phil, Dr. Philip McGraw, he solves problems. He solves problems, you ungrateful son of a bitches, you.
Okay, I'm going to let y'all decide where you sit.
Uh-oh.
Where do you want to sit?
Side of him?
Pardon?
On the side of him?
You want to sit there?
There or there?
Well, there's not a chair there.
Can we move it?
Oh boy.
Can we move it?
Can we move it? No, we can't move it because of camera angles and all that sort of thing. Well, okay, but you want to sit there. Who do you want to sit there?
Okay, so that's Dr. Phil absolutely owning The Louisiana Love Triangle. What is it? The Louisiana Love Triangle.
That's a great episode right there.
And it's still got some in it, a little bit. For dinner, she had 10 fish tacos with rice and beans. Then she had a whole box of honey buns, a whole box of Hot Pocket loaded potatoes.
I am the beautiful vegan messiah.
Praise God.
The man who called himself the sexy vegan crashed the interview to dispute his mother's version of events.
I got 9.9 out of 10 after 327 women rated me. Let's see your talent. Oh. Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of
Whoa!
Okay, stop.
The sexy
So what do you even do when you're Dr. Phil? You know, you're solving all these problems. The Louisiana Love Triangle, the sexy vegan, you know, you're nailing all these problems. What do you even do? Where do you even go from that? You know, and Dr. Phil was just really messed up about this, you know? He's just like, what am I going to solve now? You know, I solved it all. And then one day he went outside and he took a look at the world, you know, and he said, I'm going to solve it. The world.
Today we'll be speaking with Phil McGraw,
Never
also
heard of him?
known as
Hey,
Dr.
David.
Phil,
I said I never heard of him, David.
host of Dr. Phil Prime Time on Merit Street Media.
Brown.
But tell me more about, I don't want to gloss over this. I
Calm down,
really want
David.
to understand this. Changing history. Okay, what was the history that used to be taught that now has been changed by the tyranny of the fringe?
Okay.
Well, pick an area. We can talk about biology, where we have always had two sexes.
But what about history?
now-
Just to pick history, not biology, because you said history,
Give a break,
biology.
David.
What about history?
Well, there's a lot of history to biology, and you would be missing
Okay.
a big point to pretend that there's not historical
all right.
biology.
Okay, we're rather pedantic there, Dr. Phil. Come on.
Not in biology, but just talk about the history of mankind.
Okay.
We've got areas where they don't want to talk about slavery. We had one group of people that wanted to start describing slavery in history books as involuntary relocation.
Okay, that's
This
bad.
was not involuntary relocation.
I'm with you,
This
Phil.
was slavery. And
I'm with you on this one, Phil.
We've got people that are wanting to rename schools because people that were doing what were the mores and folkways of the times now would clearly be
that took a little bit of a weird turn. Okay, was not expecting that turn.
weird. Doing things against the law, certainly against mores and folkways, because they were slave owners at the time, are saying, well, now we have to tear down these statues, we have to rename these schools, and we don't want to teach about them. We have to learn from our mistakes as a society.
You're not in agreement with those who want to minimize the tragedy and brutality of slavery, but you also want to keep the school names. If a school is named after a slave owner, you're also okay with that because it will remind us and we will learn from it. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's what he said, David. Give him a break. Yeah, so this media elite, David Paxton, is being really mean to Dr. Phil here.
He's being really mean to my boy, Phil.
Because Dr. Phil is making a very obvious point here that we don't want to change the names of schools and tear down statues and all this stuff because we want to look at that and be like, you know what? We want to remind ourselves those people did make mistakes. You know what I mean? And what better way to do that with a statue, you know what I mean? Or a school name. And I know this from experience because I went to Thomas Jefferson, made a huge series of mistakes. Hi. Hold on. Somebody's calling me. Hello? John Oliver? Oh, what's that? That's your kind of joke? Hey, how'd you get this number, man?
Let's just dive right in. So here is Dr. Phil going on The View and telling the Harpies how COVID was mismanaged and how it really screwed over our kids.
Okay.
And COVID hits 10 years later, and the same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years. Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children?
Are you saying no school children died of COVID?
I'm saying it was the safest group. They were the less vulnerable group, and they suffered and will suffer more from the mismanagement of COVID than they will from the exposure to COVID. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Whoa!
That's a good line right there to end with, and you could hear the audience
Calm down,
applauding
man.
with Dr. Phil. It's just so
Hey,
interesting how...
Hey, I command you to calm your ass down. Yeah, all right. So it's funny how YouTube works because, you know, the same people will like clip the same clip. So there's like a million clips of this where they're like, ooh, Dr. Phil owned the ass of The View. People watching The View, you know, while they're getting their tires repaired, or they're at the dentist and they want to ask to they're at the dentist and there's like a screen at the dentist and they really want to ask to change it. You know, put on Cartoon Network or something, but they're like, whatever, just leave The View on. So he's owning the ass of The View, according to all these YouTube channels. And just to take what Dr. Phil's saying here at face value, you know, I mean, first of all, most people have moved way past this, the schools being closed. No one cares anymore. Okay, but anyway. Is Dr. Phil under the impression that there's only children in schools? I mean, that would be hilarious. And I fully support that. Just let them go.
Let them go, burn the place down. Who cares?
But, you know, if you go to one of these schools, there's not just children there. There's adults, too. There's a bunch of annoying adults ruining all the fun with their rules, you know, and they're kind of in tight spaces, and then they leave those tight spaces called the school, and they go out into the world, but who cares? Joe Rogan all day, all night. By night.
Dug into what's happening with Chinese buying, the Chinese government or Chinese, generally speaking, these nationals buying farmland.
Oh.
And I've got a map, if I can find it, of where they're buying this land, and it's around U.S. military installations.
Whoa.
They're buying up land around U.S. military installations.
His purchases in 2016, 2017, his plans to build a wind farm, as well as his purported ties to Chinese military, drew scrutiny in Texas several years after his acquisitions.
Right.
He ultimately was denied permission to proceed with his wind farm plans. So they own the land, but they won't let him proceed with the wind farm.
Yeah, and they're building a wind farm where it's not very windy.
I do like the way he said that. I like the way he
but
said
it
that.
does butt up.
Okay, so you smug viewers out there might be asking, how does this guy feel? How does this amazing guy feel? How is he qualified to make these analysis on geopolitical crap? And I literally just said,
God damn you, I literally just told you.
Minutes ago, he solved the Louisiana love triangle. Okay, that's geographical because of Louisiana. Guys, come on. Oh, wow. Okay, so great. This is Dr. Phil on the Joe Show. He's really concerned about China. If you've never heard of that, that's the country where all our crap comes from, but that's fine. That's okay. So Dr. Phil brings up this map and he's like, look, Chinese are buying all the land near military bases. I looked up a map of military bases in the United States, and they're everywhere. They seem to be kind of everywhere, so... But then Dr. Phil goes into this story about how in Texas, you know, the Chinese... Actually, it's like a Chinese billionaire. This Chinese billionaire wanted to buy a bunch of land for a wind power farm. It's somewhere in Texas. And Dr. Phil's like, that's near military base. That's near military base. And this ended up not happening because they're like, no, you're spies. You can't do this, so whatever. But then Dr. Phil is like, kind of suspicious, Joe. Kind of something's kind of fishy here because they want to build a bunch of wind power crap in a place where there's not too much wind. You know, the Texas government panicked about this and they said, no, you can't have that land. And then a Spanish renewable energy company called Greenalia bought it. So I don't know why a Spanish company would buy this wind farm if there's no wind there, but okay, all right, whatever, Dr. Phil. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of confusing with Dr. Phil, you know, because his whole thing is restoring sanity. You know, get a little sanity in your life, you people. You idiots. You know, he calls them that. You know, if you're a sexy vegan, you should not moonwalk around my stage yelling at everybody.
Let's see your talent.
Hey, no, you need to look at me.
Let's see your talent.
Okay, security, get him out of here.
You know, we need a little sanity. But here's Dr. Phil, you know, contributing to fear and hysteria about an invasion from another country with very shoddy at best evidence. It's confusing and...
it's weird.
Praise God.
So there we go. God bless Dr. Phil.
Praise God.
For him. Well, guys, it's Wednesday. You know, not our favorite day, but we look at it and we say...
got your ass! Woo!
Hope you're all doing great. Love you so much. Bye-bye.
I might just walk out here. I think I'm gonna take about a week off. Guys!
You're not getting the whole show, okay? Please, for Christ's sake, become a member on Patreon, okay? For as little as 2 bones. When you join on Patreon for as little as 2 stupid little bones, you get the Tuesday, Thursday shows every week. The Quaments program, where you can ask questions or tell stories or do whatever, and it's a whole show. Behind the scenes crap.
All for 2 putrid little bones, that's it. I'm in here.
And if you really want to support the wretched show, people call it, because they're satanic, they're sick, you could become a producer for only 25 bones. These beautiful people here are, God! Without those producers, it's over, man. It's done.
Do you think we can do the show without the producers?
Okay? Because if you do think that, you got another thing coming, my man.
You got a totally different thing coming.
Without the producers, it is as good as over.
Hello?
Is anyone listening to me? Please answer. I'll wait. Please answer.
Our hearts and our toilets
are forever endowed unto the producers from which all light comes. Praise God.
Praise God.
It really is amazing to have such beautiful producers, and if you want to do it, oh my God, I don't even know what to say. I love the producers so much that I wrote a little song about them. Here we go.
Hit it. Without the producers, we're going straight to hell. It will be their nationality for all eternity. And then we'll go down to the lower level of hell where you can't get out. Not even for good behavior / deeds. Go down there. Deeds. Ah!